you're never going to look at electric cars ever again the same. Jim Carrey exposes.
I just wanted y'all to watch this real quick and then we'll get into the video. But this is just very interesting.
Agenda, which I've been talking about for a long time.
I love the aspect of the AI and the machines taking over. You know, we have cars that drive themselves, and that's a convenience right now, but soon there won't be a steering wheel, and it'll take you to the police station when you have outstanding parking tickets, and, you know, it'll be like that. So we've got a lot to look forward to. I love.
Soon, there'll be no such thing as real human beings being Uber drivers, Uber Eats, DoorDash. It's all going to be taken over and replaced by the AI. Mark of the Beast is on its way. Like and subscribe. After you watch this,
that's just so true. So true. That's why I keep telling y'all, get on the land, man. Get on the land. There's going to come a time where you can't even get in these cities because you're going to have to be chipped. You're going to have to be chipped. If you're not chipped, you cannot get into these smart cities. Okay? It's just like they say, if you don't have a driver's license, you can't drive. If you don't have a passport, you can't go to another country. That's pretty much what the chip is going to be, is like a passport. And if you want to get into this other country or a big city, they won't let you in. I wanted to tell y'all what Dick Gregory said. Dick Gregory made a video. If I could find it. Oh, it'll be over here. And this is the end all be all right here, if I could find it. Oh my goodness. I don't think it was this far back. Let me see if I could Google it. Okay, let me try to find it one more time. Then I'll see if I can Google it. But I was at Dollar General yesterday, and they just built a Dollar General across the street from us right here. And I was like, wow, you know, these people in Dollar General, they just opened this new Dollar General. They just got this job. They probably make $10 an hour average. You know, $9, $10, $11, $12 an hour average. I don't see it past $12 an hour. And I'm like, that's like $400 a week. Call it $350 after taxes, $340, whatever it is, after taxes, $320 maybe even, right? After taxes, right? That's like $1,200 a month. And I'm just like, wow. These people are probably taking anywhere from $200-$300 to probably the whole $1,200 and paying a rent, paying some type of rent. And I'm like, right here in the country, right down the street, about 45 minutes away, I know where some land is that, you know, you can buy for like $300 a month, $349 a month. And I just want to go in there and tell these people, like, look, two of y'all could put together and go right down the street here and buy y'all this land, okay, that you'll own in about 4 years, 4 to 6 years. You'll own the land. You won't have to pay rent anymore to anybody. And I could even show you guys how to put cabins on there, or a little RV travel trailer on there, and just live in there and do what you need to do until you pay off your land, right? And you know, I just always think about what people always tell me. It's the same words verbatim that always come out of people's mouth. I can't live like that. And I just say to myself, these are the same people always complaining about working a job. They tired of their job. These are the same people always complaining about they can't live the way they're living. You know, they might be renting somewhere from a landlord. The landlord is getting on their nerves. You know, they might be living with a parent or a family, a friend, and that those people getting on their nerves. It's like, you know, in life you have to pick your poison. And it's like the poison people rather pick is to basically, I mean, just think about this, guys. It's crazy to me. It's really crazy to me, right? People are so backwards, right? Again, keep in mind, life is about picking your poison, right? So the poison, let's talk about some of the poisons people rather pick, right? And I'm not judging nobody because I've been there, done that. But you're telling me you rather pick the poison of working a job, paying rent, which if you're paying rent, you'll always be paying rent, or paying some high mortgage for 30 years. You rather do that than buy you some land or be buying you some land, pay it off in 2, 4, 6 years. You'll own it free and clear. Have your little cabin on there, have your little RV on there, and I show you how to get these cabins for a few $100s down, few $100s a month, right? And you know, you rather pick paying rent because of conveniences. Because of conveniences. You don't want to sacrifice the conveniences. This is how much people love conveniences. People love the Matrix. And that's what the Matrix does. The Matrix make everything convenient for you. Okay? And that's why people love being in the Matrix. So now it's like, you know, prior to 1933, 80 something 85% of people work for themselves. After 1933, 85% of people work for somebody. It unfroze my screen. Okay, let me see something and then we'll pick back up the video. Let me see. Because it unfroze my screen. Yeah, I don't know where the video left off, but let me continue talking. Prior to 1933, everybody pretty much worked for themselves, like 85% of the people. After 1933, everybody got off the farm and went to work for another company, right? So prior to 1933, about 85% of people were self-employed. After about 1933, 85% of the people more and more became employed. And, you know, people were selling their farms, their father's farms, their mother's farms, their grandfather's farms, aunties and uncles' farms. You know, people wanted to get off the farm. They didn't want to work hard anymore. They didn't want to work the land anymore. They wanted these corporate jobs, right? So basically, as a result, now you have all these people that are just slave workers and, get up every day, have to go to work at a certain time, and have to do things on time, have to fight traffic and all of this type of stuff. And then you tell people, hey, get back to the land, get back to the way our ancestors lived. This is what's going to give you your freedom. People are so brainwashed that they'll even tell you, yeah, you're right. We need to get land. We need to get back to the land, blah, blah, blah. But they'll be like, wow, man, that's so cheap. I could buy land for $75 down and all this type of stuff. But when it comes time to really do it, it's like they're not going to do it. They are not going to do it. The brainwash is that deep. The brainwash is that deep. And, it even took me a while to realize, because people will tell you, get a job, go get a job, work for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, retire at 65. That means if you start working at 15 and you retire at 65, you've worked 50 years. 50 years out your life, all your prime years, all your good years, you gave 8, 10, and 12 hours a day, at least 5 days a week, to another family, making that other family rich, right? And all you did was survive. You and your family just survive, right? So people will tell you to go get a job basically for 50 years or more, because people working past 65 these days. Then they'll tell you get a 30-year mortgage, right? Which there's pros and cons in that. Okay, I have a few 30-year mortgages, but again, like I said, the day my tenants stop paying on those mortgages is the day I tell a bank they could have those motherfucking houses, because the only purpose of me having them is for the tenants to pay them off. All right. Now, they also tell you, hey, get a car, pay a car note, high ass car note. And I get, you paying a car note, but I'm talking about these high ass car notes, right? And in my mind, I'm like, can people not see that this is slavery? This is putting you in debt, and debt is slavery. Can people not see that this is basically what they call it, sharecropping, whatever they used to call it? This is basically them putting you in debt. Now you have to work to pay off this debt. Okay? It's like the slave is like they're making you a slave, and now you have to work to buy your freedom. That's what it is. You have to buy your freedom, just like slaves had to buy their freedom. You have to buy your freedom. So you're buying your freedom. It's going to take you 30 years or 50 years to buy your freedom. I mean, the old time slaves would buy their freedom in less time than that, and people don't see it. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to me. It's like, I don't know. I'm just amazed at how people just don't see it. Like, for example, if I had to literally start my life over again from scratch, which I've started my life over again many times, right? If I had to start my life over again from scratch, knowing what I know now, I would regain everything I have within a couple years with no credit, no money, no anything. I'm going to tell you the only thing I would need is my health. That's the only thing I would need is my health. The only thing I would need is my health. I'm going to tell you the first thing I would do, especially for y'all coming out of jail, prison, y'all dead broke. You don't have a car, a house, a pot to piss in, you homeless right now, whatever, right? I'm going to tell y'all the first thing I would do is I would go on some type of website like Craigslist, anything that offers gigs, right? Because, like regular gigs, like, because maybe you can't Uber, you can't Lyft, you can't do any of that stuff, right? And I would find a mediocre job. I would find a mediocre job because remember, you don't have nothing, you don't know nothing, whatever, right? All you have is your health. Find a cleaning job. I would go to the neighbor's house. You don't even have to go on Craigslist. Just think old school, like a little young person, young individual. Go to all your neighbors. Hey, can I cut your grass for $30? I don't have a lawnmower or anything, but if you have a lawnmower, I'll use your lawnmower. I'll cut your grass for $30. I'll fix something on your house for cheap. I'll come inside and cook for you. I'll clean for you. I'll babysit for you. People might not have you babysit their babies, but you could babysit their dogs or animals. There's all type of little things you can do to make money. Okay? Now, with the knowledge I have now, the only thing I would really want is the knowledge that I have now and my health. With the knowledge that I have now, knowing you can buy land with no credit, with $50, $100, $200 down, I would then save the money that I make, right? Because I could probably make at least average, say $50 a day. I'm going to go to bare minimum, average $50 a day because today I might make $20. Tomorrow I might make $200. So let's say I average $50 a day, right? In these days, let's do 75 because, you should be able to do 75 a day, right? That means I would have about, let me see, about 300 and something in 5 days, right? 300 and something in 5 days. And you need a few days, couple days to rest, right? So I would basically take them 300 and something dollars. I would at least save 200 of it. I would at least save 200 of it. And of course, I have to eat. I have to have somewhere to sleep. So I would basically, buy my food. And to sleep, I would buy a tent. I would go on Walmart or OfferUp, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, anywhere, and I would find a tent. And I would ask the people that I asked to also work for them, hey, can I set up a tent in your yard and sleep in there? Believe me, if you go knocking on about 10 doors, it's not going to take you that long for somebody to say, yeah, you could work for me. I'll pay you, whatever, $30 to cut my grass, $20 to clean my house, $50 to clean my house, and you could set up a tent in my yard. It's not going to take long for somebody to tell you, yeah, you could do that. It's not, okay? And then you have to be mindful and careful too that you're not dealing with anybody that's gonna screw you or try to hurt you in any kind of way. So use your intuition to vibe with somebody that you feel is a good individual, right? An honorable individual, right? So anyhow, I would do that for about a month. You should be able to save up $1,000 within a month. Once you save up $1,000, boom, you're not only ready to purchase your land, but you're ready to put a cabin on your land. Because with the knowledge I have now, I know how to get a piece of land. Okay, I know how to put a cabin on it. Okay, let's look it up here. Ca- Shed conversions. Okay, they're calling it shed conversions. I know how to get one of these sheds. They're actually cabins, but are sheds.
Shed conversion.
See, some of them are actually sheds and some of them are actually cabins. But
Steps he had to take to create a space suitable for full-time living. My all-time favorite thing about shed conversion tiny homes is that it makes it super.
Before I play this video, let me just finish what I was saying. So basically, I'm starting off fresh. I have absolutely nothing, right? No car, no house, nothing, right? I'm just walking around, roaming the streets, asking people, can I do some work for you? You could even do it at storefronts. Walk around downtown. You might not be in a country. You might not be in a suburban area. You might be in a city. Go to these stores, any store. Ask them, can you be a dishwasher? Ask them, can you do anything? I guarantee you, even as a dishwasher, even working in a mechanic shop, sweeping the floors, you're gonna make $1,000. You're gonna be able to save $1,000. Okay, you're gonna be able to save $1,000. Once you have that $1,000, right? You can purchase land, $50 down, $100 down, $200-$300 down, right? You can purchase a nice little size cabin, 200 square feet for about $300 down, right? So basically, all you need is about $600. You'll have your land and you will have your cabin, okay? Your land and your cabin, okay? What makes it so crazy is in purchasing your land, they don't even ask you for ID. They just ask you for a name. They just ask you for a name. They don't ask you for your social security number or anything. So you don't even need ID. Now, in purchasing a cabin, they do ask you for ID, but you're actually doing it over the phone and paying everything over the phone. So, you can use anybody's ID if you had to, right? Say you don't have ID or anything, right? You can do it like that also, right? Um, and you can always get a prepaid card, prepaid Visa, or anything like that. You don't necessarily have to have a Cash App or a bank account. They have all these prepaid cards you can buy that you could put money on to buy stuff over the phone, right? And you do want a cell phone, right? So within 30 days, I would already, because honestly, the first day that I start working for someone and they pay me, and I would actually insist on them paying me cash daily or every other day. I wouldn't really work for anybody that want to pay me more, that want to pay me every 2 weeks. I definitely would not want to get paid every 2 weeks. I would want to get paid daily or every 2 days, at maximum once a week. The reason why, guys, remember, you have nothing. You need food to eat. You need to go buy a tent, all of this type of stuff. So at least the first gigs that I do, that first week, I want cash because I need to go buy a phone, a prepaid phone. I need to go buy a tent. I need to go buy some hygiene products, a bag, camping gear, all of that type of stuff. This is gonna cost me at least a few $100s, right? Maybe even a bicycle, all of that, right? So I need a bicycle, um, I need a backpack, my tent, my full camping gear. I need at least a few $100s. So after the first week, I would have that, right? Now I have transportation, I have my camping bag, I have my tent, I have all of this stuff. Now, the money I make the next week, the next $300, $400, I'm gonna go buy my land. I'm gonna be buying my land. Once I buy my land, whatever state that is or whatever, I would then move there, live on my land. Again, I would repeat the same scenario. I would go to all my neighbors, go to the local stores everywhere. Hey, do you guys need somebody to sweep, to mop, to clean? Do you know anybody that want anybody to sweep, mop, clean, do dishes, cut the grass, cut trees? I'll do anything for work, right? Anything honorable for work, right? Okay, now you're living on your own land in your tent. Can't nobody tell you nothing. You want a cabin, right? Um, and you don't have to get a cabin. I have a neighbor, he has 250 acres. He lived in his cabin, I want to say like 2 years, 3 years, and then he got a fifth wheel. So he was in not his cabin, he was in his tent. He was in a tent for about 2 years, and then he got a fifth wheel. And this guy owns 250 acres free and clear. All right, so he could obviously even put a house on his land, but he opt to live in a tent on his land for 2 years, right? So, you know, but people want to be modern, so I say, get a cabin like the one I'm going to show the video right now. Once you put that first cabin, you got it fixed up how you want to. You work in your job, whatever you're doing. Okay, now it's time to buy another cabin. Okay, to rent out. The next cabin you're going to have, you're going to rent it out. Okay, you might not even have the credentials to put it on Airbnb. You By now you should have a friend or somebody you could use their credentials. Hey, I want to start this business. I want to put it on Airbnb. Can I use your identification? Blah blah blah. Because whatever, my credentials are fucked up, right? I'll give you 10%, 20%, whatever, right? And a person might say, yeah, man, that's great. I'll do it for you. Matter of fact, if you could just allow me to live on your land, you could use my credentials. All of this type of stuff could happen. Guys, I'm telling you, this is how I would start my life all over again. And doing this process, I promise you, within 2 years, I'd probably have 10 properties and about 10 homes. And another 2 years after that, I'd I'd probably have $250,000 to $500,000 to $1 million. Okay? I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And I'm not doing any of this by killing myself to try to get no dang education, to try to get no better job. I'm not doing any of this by working for people forever, because remember, within a year or 2 years, I'm putting more cabins on my land and renting them out. And I don't even have to put cabins. I could just straight up rent out camping spaces on my land. Okay? Straight up rent out camping spaces on my land. Okay? And the way technology is right now, you could buy one of those bicycles that have a motor on it, electric motor or a gas motor, or a scooter. You could buy a scooter for $300, $400, $500. You know, if you able to get a tag for it, you don't need a license. Well, you need license, I think, sometimes, but you definitely don't need insurance with scooters, right? So there's so many ways to get transportation, guys. It's crazy, right? So even if you live deep in the country and you got to go to work an hour away, remember, it's just you starting your life over, you're building. Guys, within 3 months, you can have your shit together. Okay? You can go get your babies, you can bring them out to the land, you can go get your wife, bring them out to the land. If you're a woman, you could do the same thing. Go get your family, bring them out to your land. Right now, there is no excuse for anybody to be broke. There's no excuse for anybody to not have land. There's no excuse for anybody to be suffering. There's no excuse for anybody to have any issues in life right now. Okay, because not only are you living on your land, you're growing fresh food on your own land. Your own food, you're growing your own food on your land. Okay? So watch this video, this guy who actually started with one cabin, then he got another one, and now he got this shed conversion. Look how beautiful this thing is, how you can fix these cabins up to make them so beautiful. And another thing is, he talking about he spent like $30,000 on materials, whatever. Guys, you and I both know you can go to these construction sites, you can go almost anywhere and find materials free. You can go to people's houses that's doing rehabs. A lot of times these people have good material, good toilets, good everything. They're just upgrading their house. You can get all this stuff free. Okay? Anyhow, watch this little bit of
Super easy to have an affordable housing option. For just $30,000, Nick has actually created a luxury tiny home with a marble shower, 2 lofted bedrooms, and a full kitchen. And by the way, we featured Nick a few other times on this channel with his treehouse A-frame and his amazing shipping container home. So make sure you check out those videos, which are linked in the description. But before we dive into the tour, if you like videos like this one where we take you through unique and alternative spaces, make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know every single time we publish a new video.
A good question is, how do I get started trading? A better question is, how do I profit today?
Luckily, we already had some utilities on the property, so it was just a matter of connecting the systems.
And this is nothing fancy, guys. This is just a box shed, which is really a cabin style. They have one window on each side, one window and one door in the front. I don't even think you have a back door. Okay, on my cabins, I have one window on each side. I have a double back door and I have a front door. I have 2 lofts. Okay, so my cabins are actually more, designed better than his cabin. And I have composite deck. I don't have a wood deck. I think he has a wood deck there. All right. So anyhow, look at this. It's nothing fancy, guys. It's nothing fancy.
To this new shed, and it was delivered just studs. I think I ended up putting R22 insulation and then simply putting the wall boards on.
Look how beautiful that is.
So the stairs that lead up to Clay Baby are from a big leaf maple that I had milled on the property. So I really like to use stuff that's on the property and incorporate it into all the builds here. This was a hand-me-down swing that our neighbors gave me, and I find it to be quite a nice spot to chill for a minute. So Clay Baby really was my first true build, so to speak. A lot of thought went into positioning the shed so that it still had unique and beautiful characteristics that would attract, not only family and friends of mine, but for short-term rental guests. For flooring, I chose, at the time, I was doing some work on our Seattle house that was built in the 40s. So I ended up pulling nails from all this old oak flooring. So this flooring is old 1945 oak from Seattle, and then I did this gray whitewash over it to kind of give it that gray vibe that Clay Baby seems to have. We did a really nice synthetic quartz top, but I had the guy, I begged him to come all the way out here so he would cut the sinkhole and do this seam here. Also had to cut a hole for this 2-burner induction cooktop. Another thing I like to incorporate in the cabins here at Index Cabins are rocks and minerals. So I went through a phase where I was buying minerals and then creating these wall hangings. So this is one with one of these geodes from India and these pyrite discs from Illinois. It's kind of dorky, but I love it. So the windows were all here. It came just like this. They've held up pretty nicely. This project we completed in 2019. So they're doing okay. Not like.
You guys could watch this video on your own. You can see it there. It says he built a shed and made it luxury costs. It's called Tiny House Giant Journey channel. Okay, but anyhow, the point is, anybody right now in America and probably other parts of the world, but definitely in America, can have a life, a real life. I'm talking about your land with the white picket fence and everything. The so-called American dream. Anybody can have the American dream right now. Anybody. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You know, the opportunities that are here right now, and you guys are still stuck in the matrix. You still stuck in the matrix. It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, I basically came to North Carolina with nothing. You know, I left my whole life in Florida. I came to North Carolina with nothing, just me and my pickup truck. And I've amassed so much land and wealth in 3 years. It's just crazy. It's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? I in 30 years of living in Florida, I could have did it in Florida, but in 30 something years of living in Florida, I amassed more in the past 3 years than I did in 30 some almost 40 years of living in Florida. You know, and it wasn't because I couldn't do it in Florida, but it was because of my mindset, and I didn't know then what I know now. You know, I was in the matrix. I was in the matrix. I was in the mindset of fix your credit, have good credit, go buy a house, 30-year mortgage, you know, all this type of stuff. I literally was not thinking about buying land, although it crossed my mind, and, you know, stuff like that does cross your mind, just buy some land. You don't even know how to do it, where to start, or anything. And it took me sleeping in my truck. It took me sleeping in my truck from like 2014, I think I want to say all of 2014 and 15. And then finally I got a breakthrough in 2016. And by 2017 I brought a piece of land for like $9,000. I think I gave Miss Maria like $350. And then the following month I gave her like $450. And I had the land maybe 6 months, 4 or 6 months, and somebody offered me like 16,000. So I made, you know, I ended up walking away with, you know, want to say a little over 5,000, something like that, right? And I took off after that. You know, I paid some bills. I got into cryptocurrency. You know, I made a lot of moves after that, and then it struck a real bug in me with real estate, and I ended up actually purchasing a house. Um, um, you know, I purchased it. How they say creative financing. And then after, honestly, this is a good story. Honestly, after I purchased that first house, creative financing, I'm like, man, this is retarded. I'm like, this is retarded. Like people pushing buying a house, getting a tenant, renting out the house. Man, it's freaking retarded, man. It's like after it was exciting doing the special financing stuff and learning all that stuff to get the house. But after I got the house and got the tenant and all that type of stuff, I'm like, this is retarded. I'm going back to land. I'm going back to investing in land. There's no fucking way I'm going to be dealing with interviewing all these retarded ass people that all they want to do is rent, you know. Most of these people that was coming to see the house just you know, just their level of just their, I don't know what to say. I don't know, but these people just was not my type of people. All right, which is like 90% of you motherfuckers on this planet are just not my type of people. Be honest with you. I'm not judging anybody, but 90% of you motherfuckers on this planet are just, I don't know, y'all just fucking brain dead zombies. But anyhow, and that's why 1% of the people control the planet, you know, because 90% of y'all are just brain dead zombies. But anyhow, so you know, I was like, man, okay. So I had my business partner and we still own the house. And I'm like, man, yeah, whatever. I really don't want to deal with this shit. The idea was to sell the house within a year, fix it up and put a tenant in it, but be fixing up, selling it in a year. We ended up still keeping the property up to now because it was worth more now to still keep the property. And I actually made a deal with the tenant that the tenant would fix. What we did was we specifically picked a tenant that did handyman work. We specifically picked a tenant that did handyman work and had a family on top of it. So so he has a lot to lose if he, you know, would not fix up the house because he has a family. And we specifically picked a good family man, you know what I'm saying, that did handyman work. And he still lives in the house. And I tell him all the time, man, let me help you buy land. And he doesn't want to do it. He want to live in the house in the city with his family, and he's happy as fuck. Anyhow, shout out to you, bro, if you're watching this video. You know I talk shit about you all the time. Anyhow, you know, that's that. So he still lives there. I have never went up on his rent. He paid cheap ass rent. He's happy, I'm happy, whatever. But anyhow, personally, and I bought 2 more houses after that, but personally, I rather focus on land because what I'm finding is that the equity is actually in the land. The equity is actually in the land. And I can still make the same amount of money. I'm actually making more money renting out my land, renting out my cabins on Airbnb than I am from my tenants, from my regular tenants. I'm literally not even making any money from my regular tenants because the money I do make go right back into paying the mortgage, the taxes, insurance, and I literally don't touch that money, you know, whatever extra money's there because that money has to go towards any emergencies. So I literally don't even touch that bank. I don't even look at that bank account, and everything is on automation. So the tenant put the money in there and the bank take the money out, and everything is on automation. Okay, I've set up my whole life pretty much on automation. Even with my Airbnbs, I don't have to be there. Everything is on automation, right? So um what I'm telling you guys is that if I can do it, anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. It's crazy how I've able to do what I'm able to do in the past 3 years. And, you know, I'm telling you guys, you can do it. Anybody can do it. But you guys have to get out this mindset of being comfortable, living in a city, trying to get jobs after jobs, begging people for jobs. Like, y'all never seen me on my channel begging anybody for a job. Y'all never seen me working for anybody. I've always worked for myself. I manifest for myself. I'm constantly buying land. Like those of you that know me personally know this is really me. I drive an old pickup truck. You know, even when my truck was down last year, I made more money last year with my truck being down than previous years. So it just proves to me everything is a mindset. Everything is a mindset. You know what I mean? Because my truck was down, I kicked into gear to make money without me having to do any physical work or without me having to need a vehicle. So that's when I went into hyperdrive with my Airbnb business, right? So with me going into hyperdrive with my Airbnb business, which I think that's what the universe was trying to push me to do, is to go into hyperdrive with my Airbnb business. With me doing that, going into hyperdrive with my Airbnb business, um, I'm making $900 a month on my Airbnb business average, okay? And that's paying for my land and my cabins, right? That's paying for that, okay? And then any other money that I make, because I make money from teaching my consultations. I make money from trading cryptocurrency and stocks. I make money from a lot of different things, and I'm also a contractor. You know what I mean? So that's why when one thing is down for me, another thing is up. I'm also in. I do lottery. I make money off of lottery. Like I do a lot of different things. You know, I have like 7, 8 businesses, you know, which is a whole nother thing I need to teach you guys. But if I had to start my life all over again, I'm telling you guys, that's exactly how I would do it. And you might not know how to cut grass. You might not know how to clean a house. You might not know how to babysit. You might not know any of those things, but there's something you do know. And whatever you know how to do, do that. If all you know how to do, I'm not telling anybody to be prostitutes, but y'all prostitutes anyway. Y'all sell y'all pussies and y'all bodies to go buy weed, marijuana, all kind of dumb shit. If that's all you know how to do is be a fucking prostitute, be a fucking prostitute. Be the best prostitute you could be. Okay? Y'all doing it anyway. Y'all doing it anyway. Might as well do it and buy you some land. Put your go-go club, a strip club on your land. You know what I'm saying? A hole in the wall. Whatever you need to do. Okay? But I have no sympathy for anybody right now. I really don't. I honestly don't have any sympathy for anybody, because I'm showing you guys you can buy land. You don't even need ID. You don't need credit. Don't give me no fucking excuse. You don't need anything but $75 to $300, $400. That's all you need. Okay? You can live in a tent. You can live in an RV. You can live in a cabin. You can live in any of those things. You don't even have to live on the land. You could just, as soon as you purchase the land, you could, you know, do what you need to do to fix it up for somebody to go set up a tent on the land. Matter of fact, I have so many people that text me on Airbnb that they want to just come set up a tent on my land and live on my land. Okay? I have so many people asking me that, text me that, right? Some of them are sketchy people, so I don't allow it, but I have had a couple people do it and it worked out pretty well. So you do have to use your intuition and stuff like that, your discernment with dealing with people, right? But for the most part, guys, I'm telling you, if I can do this business, if I can be free, if I can have land, actually own land, if I can own these cabin houses, you see how beautiful they are. Anybody can do it. I don't want to hear no complaints from anybody. Should nobody be out here talking about they struggling, life is so hard, they hate their life. Honestly, if your life is that bad, give it all up. Give it all up. Let them take the motherfucking house. Let them take the car. Go live on the street. Start your life all over again. For those of you that are single and don't have any offsprings, but for those of you that have offsprings and babies, I honestly recommend you just do what you need to do, because you've been doing what you need to do so far. I honestly recommend you do what you need to do. Stop this mindset of you have to shit in a regular toilet. There's nothing wrong with shitting in a bucket. Stop this mindset that you need Netflix and air condition and all this modern stuff. That's what's keeping you poor and broke. Okay? That's what's keeping you poor and broke. Okay? Now, a lot of you already getting Section 8 and food stamps. And if you're not on Section 8, you're getting food stamps. So you're ahead of the game. You're ahead of the game. Right? All you need to do is do what you need to do to get yourself about $1,000. Take 300 of it, buy your land, another 300, buy your cabin, another 300 of it, put your little furniture, whatever you need to put in there, and go sit your ass down somewhere. Okay? Go to your neighbors wherever you move at, tell them you do babysitting, you cook meals, you whatever you need to do to make money. You want to stay home with your babies? Tell the other women in a neighborhood you they could bring their babies over to you and you babysit them all day. Okay? There's so many ways to make money, but y'all are so conditioned in your mind with these conveniences in life, and that's what's keeping you broke. You don't want to give up the conveniences that these Zionist Jews have given you. You don't want to give up these conveniences, and that's what's making you broke. In order to be rich and wealthy, you must make sacrifices. Okay? And really, some of you, it's not even sacrifices you have to make. Most of you, all you gotta do is stop buying weed. Weed, alcohol, hair weave, lashes, um, Jordan shoes, all the stupid shit y'all buy. Really, that's all y'all really need to do is stop buying that dumb shit. And y'all will have enough money to buy your land, buy your cabin, your tiny house, and sit y'all asses down somewhere. I'm telling you, even as a man, all you need to make money, even as a man, is a motherfucking lawnmower. A motherfucking lawnmower. You don't even need an edger. You could just, some people don't care about edging. Just go cut the grass down. They don't give a fuck about you edging it up. The first, you just need a motherfucking lawnmower. Go walk around somebody's grass with a lawnmower. You're going to make you $100. You're going to make the whatever money you spend on that lawnmower, you get $100 lawnmower. You get $100 lawnmower, even a $50 lawnmower. The first grass you cut is going to pay for that lawnmower. You go cut grass all day, all month. I guarantee you $1,000, $2,000. I guarantee you $1,000 to $2,000. I could guarantee you, right? As a man, then as a woman, even as a man or a woman, you can cut grass. I'm gonna tell you what I did one time. I got a barbecue grill. And I was grilling burgers and sausages and all kind of foods on my grill, and I made money to take care of me and my son. Got me a little studio. This lady turned her garage into a little studio, and I took care of my son off a little grill. I had a little barbecue grill, and that's how I took care of my son. You know, and I sold food. I went around to all the dealerships and them guys washing cars and stuff, and I sold food for a couple of years, and I took care of my son, took very well care of my son. I was making like $300-400. I was making like $400-500 a week for like a year, and then I started doing the nightclubs, and I was making like $1,000 a day a night, $500 and $1,000 a night. At minimum $300 a night profit. When I started doing the nightclubs at night. Guys, I haven't had a regular job. I can't even remember the last time I had a regular job. I have not had a regular job probably in 20 years. And I've been working since I was 14. I'm almost 50 now. So out of about 35 years, I've only worked for other people. Out of about 35 years of working, I've only worked for other people about 5 years. 5 years out of my whole life. And even those 5 years, I worked jobs like the labor pool, TGI Fridays, Steak and Shake. I work jobs that I control my hours and my time. I work jobs that I got up and went to work when I felt like getting up and going to work. You know what I'm saying? And be honest with you, that's how I've always lived my life, on my own terms. But as far as building wealth, I only started building my wealth like this in the past since 2017, and I've been going hard since 2020. Since 2020 I've been going hard. you know um I made a lot of money when I was younger. When I was 21, I sold cars. I made like 300,000 in 1 year and blew it. And then I went through a series of just a roller coaster life, for the next 10, 15 years. And it's only been since 2017 that I've able to really get my life together consistently, you know. And in the past few years, I see how easy it is. And it's just like the stuff I've been doing in the past few years, I'm just like mad at myself. I'm just mad at myself that I didn't do this straight out of high school. But I didn't know. I did not know, and I didn't have anybody to teach me or show me, you know. And I'm here though. I'm here to teach you guys, show you guys. You guys should even sign up your offsprings, to my consultation. You know, I will teach your offsprings more in 1 year and for $300 than they will know in 4 years for $300,000. Okay? You will end up spending and owing between $30,000 and $300,000 versus you spending $300 now and in 4 years. If you take two people, one individual is going to start college for 4 years, even high school for 4 years, right? And they're going to start high school or college for 4 years. And by the time they finish high school or college, they'll end up owing 30,000 or 300,000. You even take somebody going to the military for 4 years, right? And then you take another individual that I teach them for 1 year, it's going to cost $300. What I teach them in 1 year, for the other 3 years, they'll be a millionaire. They'll be a millionaire or close to it. They will have at least $250,000 net worth, like I do, within them 4 years. I'm serious, guys. You see it all the time. You see people all the time in real estate talk about it, and it's true. It's true. And it's so easy. I tell you straight up how I do it. You don't even have to take my class to know how to do it. Look at the video I did yesterday or day before. Quite easily, quite simply, I'm going to have you buy your land. You're going to put down about $1 to a few $100s down on your land. You're going to be paying on your land. Okay? By the time you finish paying off your land, in 2, 4, 6 years, usually 2 years, not only will you have that money in there that you put into your land, but you will have equity. So you will have at least $10,000. Because at minimum, you're going to buy a property for about 5,000. And believe me, in a year, 2 years, it will be worth 10,000, right? The way the market has been going, right? Them $10,000 cash that you have parked in that land, I will show you how to leverage that $10,000 to borrow $100,000. You don't need any credit or anything. You're going to borrow this money from private lenders that are itching to lend the money. You're going to borrow that money to build a house on your land. You're going to sell the house and part of the land or all the land for $200,000. So time they finish building that house in 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, you will have $100,000 cash. You're going to immediately take that money and go leverage that $100,000 to borrow $1 million. You're going to take that $1 million and you're going to build 5 to 10 homes at the same time. Okay? By the time you finish selling those homes, by the time those houses finish being built, that $1 million you borrowed and invested, you're gonna make a 1 million on top of it. So you just made $1 million. So you went from $300 paying on your land consistently. By the way, at the same time you can live on your land. You're going to have $10,000 equity in that land. Leverage the 10,000 to borrow 100,000. Profit 100,000. Take that 100,000 and leverage it to borrow $1 million. Profit $1 million, and now you're a millionaire. And now you're a millionaire. It's that simple, guys. I'm on the same journey. I only been doing this three years. Okay, literally in another 1 to 2 years, boom, I'm gonna hit 1 million. I'm gonna hit 1 million. Right. Right now, I'm at about 250,000. At any day now, I'm getting ready to pull out $10,000 to $40,000 out of one of my properties, or a few of my properties. I'm gonna pull some money out, and I'm gonna do what I say. I already have the lenders lined up. I already have the lenders. They call me and text me every day. Hey, when do you want to borrow the money? When do you need the money? Blah, blah, blah. I literally just need $10,000, in which I can actually borrow the $10,000 from a few of my buddies at any given time. But I want to do it the way I said I was gonna do it, so I'm gonna leverage my land to get the money to do it. Anyhow, and I think I'm actually gonna start in Florida, with one of my Florida properties, is where I actually think I'm gonna start, for different reasons. But anyhow, once I hit that $1 million mark in like the end of next year or beginning of the following year, I'm done, guys. I wouldn't even be 50 years old yet, and I'm done. Like, it don't take that much for me. I don't need no Rolls Royce, Mercedes Benz. The most I'm gonna purchase for myself in like another 3 years is a yacht. You know what I'm saying? I'm still a old pickup truck driving type of guy, t-shirt and jeans and boots, cowboy hat type of guy. It don't take a lot for me. All I eat is raw fruits and vegetables. I don't eat out at fancy restaurants and all that crazy stuff. I'm an outdoors type of guy. I take my babies to the pool, to the beach. We do a lot of outdoor activities. It don't take a lot for me. You know, I travel, we travel, I do a lot. You know, I have a great life. You know, I have a great life. I have great friends, you know, and all that type of stuff. I have a great, wonderful life. And I'm telling you, it's just amazing to me how simple this whole thing is, this whole system is. And people rather stay in the matrix. It's crazy to me. I literally just gave you the whole game. I literally just gave you the whole game, how you can go from being dead broke, straight out of prison, straight out of losing everything, out of a divorce, out of a separation. Your boyfriend just kicked you out, your girlfriend just kicked you out, Section 8 just kicked you out. I literally just showed you how to go from absolutely nothing to having your own property in a month, having your own land in a month, to paying it off in 2, 3, 4 years, leveraging that property to putting a house, to selling that house, to having $100,000 cash, to using that 100,000 to borrow $1 million, to then building $1 million worth of houses and profiting $1 million. I literally just told you how to do that within 5 years, within 4 or 5 years. Go from zero to millionaire within 4 or 5 years. I know, because I am doing it. I am doing it. Okay. Now you may say, well, I could do it in a year. If you could do it in a year, more power to you. A lot of people have done it in a year. You know, if you can do wholesaling real estate or start some type of $1 million business, that's great for you. You know what I'm saying? But if you're just an average individual going an average time like I am, it's going to take you 4 or 5 years. I'm not selling any get rich quick system or anything. I'm selling you reality. Reality. It's going to take you about 4 or 5 years, but it can be done. It can be done. All right. Anyhow, hit me up. My phone number is 754-229-0940. Again, 754-229-0940. My consultation is now $300. It's $300. Okay, you can pay $50 a week for 6 weeks. So I'm still doing the $50. I should do $60, but I'm still doing $50, $50 a week for 5 weeks. I'm not gonna do $60. $50 a week for 6 weeks. Okay, I'm not gonna do $60 a week for 5 weeks. I'm gonna do $50 a week for 6 weeks. If you pay cash, I'm gonna leave it at $250. I'm going to leave it at $250. I don't know how long that's going to last. Because I'm cutting myself. I'm leaving money on the table like that. But I'm going to do that today. I'll probably only keep it like that till Monday or something like that. And then I'm going to go up on my prices again. Okay? I take Zelle, Cash App, Chime, okay, cryptocurrency. Again, my phone number is 754-229-0940. All right, and let's finish watching this video here. It's pretty
the highest quality windows, but they're doing well. I did some more of this big leaf maple here for these shelves. Sometimes when trees blow over on the property, I have a friend who will help me mill the boards, and I like to make floating shelves, and the staircase here is actually live edge maple as well. I knew kind of going in just from my Instagram scrolling and from the HGTV shows that the shiplap was popular look, and so we went with that, and I really like the design. I like the horizontal lines that kind of stretch out the room and the way it looks. We did a little mini fridge here, which It's okay. It doesn't really hold ice very well, but for a short-term stay, it does okay. And we have a simple microwave, and that's the kitchen. And then there's this tiny little loft up here. It's just so small up there. It would really take a creative and kind of daring person to sleep up there. But we ended up making it a sleep spot. I had these metal railings made custom to protect anybody from kind of scooching out. And then we put this ladder that you use for like the back of a car or something to get up on the roof. There's a rock nub that you can see down here. So if you were to try to get up on here, you'd have to climb up on that, and then on the counter, and so forth.
If you thought one napkin for the quarter pounder with cheese was enough, it's not enough.
I love that the Google UX Design Certificate was taught by Google employees. By the end of the certificate, I had 4 case studies in my portfolio. Now I got this job that I love as a UX designer.
Get flexible online training for in-demand jobs and achieve what matters to you. It starts with a Google Career Certificate.
In such a tiny space, it was really difficult to find a pre-made ladder. So in the end, I ended up using more of this big leaf maple to make a ladder. And it turns out that it works pretty well. You can get yourself up, and then there's a hand grab I put up here just to help you either go down or up if you need. I love the way this light has so many options. It has all these different colors that you can switch it to. Just laying here, it's just beautiful for that light to cascade down on the tongue and groove wood paneling. It's really built for a 2-person cozy cabin to sleep together and then, sit together and watch shows and then explore the area around with hikes and stuff. I stayed here last Thursday night and it was terrific. I loved it, just a single person stay. And then I stayed here with my 10-year-old and my wife and my dog, and it was a little too tight. So there's more of this live edge big leaf maple for a little shelf, or I like to kind of think of it as like a place where you could work. And, never before did we have air conditioning, but it's been so dang hot in the summers now that now all 6 cabins have air conditioning solutions for super hot days. When I planned the layout for Clay Baby, we ended up putting this wall in so that we could have the movie watching zone and the little bathroom. And I love this little bathroom. It's got this natural black slate with that heated floor, so that's really nice on your toes, that natural texture. We did a really compact little vanity, simple round mirror, but then the toilet is a special compact toilet, like a 25-inch to the edge of the bowl. It's a little more man.
Oh, I forgot to say the whole point of my thumbnail. So don't let people talk you into working no job for 50 years, having no 30-year mortgage, all the slave stuff. Don't let people talk you into that. Honestly, like I say, the longest you need to actually work a job, and as I say, you can work for yourself, cutting grass, cooking food, babysitting, all this type of stuff, is like 2 to 4 years. 2 to 4 years. Okay. Once you develop your first property, build your first house, boom, I'm telling you guys, you don't have to work anymore for anybody. And now that I'm looking at this video, you actually don't even need to borrow 100,000 per se. You can do what this guy doing, which is what I said in the beginning. You can just buy a cabin, rent to own your cabin. It's like $300, $400, $500 down, $200 down. And matter of fact, I'm gonna go on Facebook and I'm gonna show you these cabins. And once you get these cabins, you can fix them up how this guy has fixed up his cabin, and you can sell the cabins. You can sell the cabins with the land. Say you might not have that much in it, but say you have what would be considered $50,000 in the cabin and the land, you can sell it for $100,000. Okay. Now, with doing that, you're gonna need a cash buyer because typically a bank is not gonna finance somebody like this yet. Although I do hear of some banks are starting to finance tiny houses and tiny cabins. I do hear some banks are starting to do it, but it's just not common right now. So that's why I am recommending you build regular houses and sell those. But you can also go this route of building out cabins and selling the build out, the cabins. People are doing this also and making a lot of money doing it. And, it's quite easy to do. If you watch YouTube videos and you learn how to build these cabins, you'll see it's quite easy to do. It's not that hard. Like I always preach, you just need to buy you some tools. Tools and a pickup truck, especially if you're a man. Tools and a pickup truck. You can't go wrong with tools and an old pickup truck. You can never be hungry and you can never go wrong. And I'll be honest, guys, when I didn't have my truck, I bought a bicycle with one of those bicycle trailers, and I was running up and down the road with that. And the trailer was like my pickup truck. I had my tools in there. And I actually didn't have to use it for that long, but I used it for a couple gigs, and I made me some money. And for the most part, I do make most of my money with my Airbnbs and working online and stuff like that, because I'm training myself to more so make my money online and through my residual income, because I know what's coming down the road. So I'm positioning myself and my mindset and everything to be able to just sit in bed, like lay in bed like I am right now and make money. I'm positioning myself like that on purpose. But until then, for those of you just starting out, I'm telling you, all you need is a bicycle, a little trailer behind your bicycle, a tent, go around getting work, make you $1,000 for the month, buy your land, keep going. Within 4 or 5 years, I promise you, especially me mentoring you being in my mastermind, I promise you guys, you are a millionaire. Okay? Anyhow, some of you may already have $10,000. You want to know how to leverage it to borrow $100,000. Holler at me. Same phone number, 754-229-0940. Some of you already have $100,000. You want to know how to leverage it to borrow $1 million. Same phone number. Holler at me, 754-229-0940. I'll get you in contact with the right people and all that good stuff. All right, let's finish watching the video.
Here in this small space, we did it's nice. I love this white marble, and I've used it in some of the other cabins, but for such a small space, if you splurge a little bit on a natural stone tile or a super nice tile, it really makes the space feel more luxurious and more thoughtful. So it's a very small space, right? So I'm just about 6 feet tall, so we really don't have much room. This light has a fan inside of the light, and so that kind of accomplishes two things, the fan and the light in one fell swoop, which I like. This was kind of an issue. Originally, I had 2 shower heads here that would be shooting, down on you like this. But I ended up only having a 19-gallon hot water heater, and it would take too much hot water. So I ended up taking one of the shower heads out. So it just has the one, but it's off center and in the ceiling, so it doesn't take up any height from the side walls. So to separate these 2 spaces, I got this giant extra wide door and hung it on a really long barn prefabricated thing that I ordered. And so you can close the door for bathroom privacy, and then you can close the door for your movie privacy, or, somewhat private. There. Playbaby goes from anywhere between $95 and $125 a night. So the return on investment happened pretty quickly, but it was really a smaller project with it only being.
Y'all hear what he just said? Go from $95 to $125 a night. So say he do 20 nights. That's $2,000 a month. $2,000 a month income. That's your whole. The average person only need to make about $2,000 a month. Okay, $2,000 a month income. Now imagine you have 2-3 of these. That's $6,000 a month income, guys. All right.
And $30,000. This could absolutely.
And I'm telling you, it's true. With my personal Airbnbs, I'm profit now, $900 a month. So, sky's the limit. And I'm actually getting ready to put 2 more cabins on some other properties that I'm looking to buy down here in Wilmington, North Carolina. Well, close to it. So I'm telling you guys, it's wide open right now to make money. It's wide open.
Be a solution for temporary housing or affordable housing, and I would love it to proliferate more quickly so that we could get people in homes and out of their tents. Index Cabins now has 6 different units. My latest 2 builds, the sea containers and the tree frame, have certainly been the most popular. But then the older, smaller cabins also are quite wonderful just because they're really close to the river. This is a real surprise that this kind of evolved and fell into my lap, and I'm certainly happy it did just because it's such a fun and rewarding project.
Thanks for checking out this week's episode. Please make sure to subscribe. And if you'd like to watch the videos about Nick's other builds, his shipping container home and his treehouse A-frame, you can check those out via the link in the description.
That was funny. I want to try to find the video. Let me see if I can find it. I want to try to find a video. Dick Gregory talking about education versus liberation. This stupid thing keep knocking me off. Let me see. Dick Gregory talking about education versus liberation. Well, obviously, YouTube is on some bullshit. So anyhow, I'll find a video and I'll get it at you guys. All right, talk to you later. Peace. Get it at you guys. All right, talk to you later. Peace.